Sulang Mr. Salvador Talams, muito tawli ko ma Bernadette, Leilani Macambes, members sa medial ngatiang. Kadamaral la, today is December 9th, kadamla so is para el tela Christmas for sure. Direct lakal bola kauror mga niya bebira ministers libus el alguk nga niya bebira applications lo laborgi inding you're right. Tara dol oswarel al silsa say you never stop learning in life malubem advance sa cloud ngir ka maumsubem rangidil ngarang. So in this instance kuk msulan recognize ra effort ra Minister Sinton Swalaplain kuk mo on his own time effort ringi kuk mla advance himself ng PhD ringira at ora higher education. Salvador megum te ergido roku maldo renga sulela rubak Dios as we approach Christmas in mrengel wasin atarakot Thanksgiving el aswara tial COVID free, and I'm really hoping it can continue maintain our situation. Madabora dolge de dobora da sabira Christmas in sebe del continue maral appreciate celebrate our Christmas with the families, extended family mabluwa selva akle. We will continue to maintain that as we move forward. Minister Robert Sangartiang among mo sabel mo mskida pay trial kuk effort sergidel girela umbelula vaccine lesay gida tamal immediate challenge immediate korago lergida other belawla el alblabodoreng sa isela vaccine in gukwa situation lergida mate leather other belawlen. That ultimately is the solution al mortal situation al dalwang malungil silsen may bedul ma arklay maru pilong ma ever recline arubugol mar masila blur belaw nga alsel may belaw. Happy holidays el mergamin. Uerap sa ulaw Dr. Robert Salvador kung dirigan malmsaw well, partra news and din direct mal giredal mo malaswara a heroic agel lerula adrablu lo soblak langar especially in tamasang talamal malubeng karyor mladu mo risk a life for tirel mo swiraan domo le clutel lobong gabi whether recognize ra Virginia Umayan niya police sergeant emle off duty emlarap trulaang ni mabuy kang arar the Lawrence Dialul to magkarel ade kuk on their own private time etamlarap trulaang emsanggel adra huriping Philippine National el milkaliam le web tratao immediately emlo sabaril susok ratao el ngua ataya range ra tilamlay ngu dia class rescue ng kaladal era ros no subira aradal ngul mo hospital nya silo wala aklangar ngi because of these heroic actions igay gidya dal direct al momol aswal wasing ngomru already the lomla rendirar at altang kutkora mo ngoraken dakadol aswar hindi sel happen kadamran mo aswal wasin thank God and dir ngariar adal sabil risk aklangar tiril guk save aklangar arbebirar and that's always going to be a good thing makmalum te ergita other belaw kada recognize merenga sulira efforts at tirgal terul gekarilat because of them in mongila Christmas and gel ada ma family ni siloban agi direk Salvador I know kada marmara globong ra calendar year 2020 Digi continue loro lobangela olvira lulaw raigel gukmo usabe el sumoklo girira other velaw so aklugu kora at 3 o'clock ak invite kami ang other media may join our national and state leadership el morgi rabara mayong rubugul velaw morsey ma olvira lulaw ra senate ma house my governors, my speakers, of course, President, my vice, my cabinet ringi, my directors sa government tamursay, my gel maklaw tutalil ang alel board, my commissions, o PPUC, my PNCC, my PNCC, ay gaya ma BSCC, ay gaya direct sa dalborak nugu kita Boria aldadura dalong le dalong sen kada gire lagel tangara gel gire dal matmok agenda ru erabol mereka tiarak malu erabol mereka tial long through el government mangara gel dola samal el guk kutmok le provide the information el mortial maral mil government mala on through matang mel direct el sabe el claudale el lungila information and maru will other belau saya klol mokte ka mak-invite ka mi Then one of the things abo rekon mo ngitra Dr. Roberts mo tatsirngi tial tokora guru senda dadal mora Taiwan siya malmol maltaramal critical service el ngara el girela government el continued provider ni mang yes kadangara lockdown a commercial airlines el Dirakabol so dal open as merela blur belaw girela mass tourism maluben cloth klakang kodang almay and the ngariya ni dra adadal giril top der belaw muraw guru masel bol meregal ngaw guru le direk giril may mga direk malmon ngariya dastag ngal school el guk namo dakal sabil ngara school and dakal require physical presence at tir sabil di online Triya kita direct lagi dalam besi langsung makara kalau sutril merbelau tabay ngar bela selva akle belum Michael mokte kertir direct Salvador el digi quickly in last week en larinya selwal formal lo idela dialara patrol boat USS Remlik 2 el merangablement tergid mang aktiregal dingutal teal mal congratulate Vice President Minister of Justice Arnold Oilo ma vehicle adala Bureau of Maritime Surveillance directlom tergid adabela kada merang asulela government Australia el me provide tial dial el ngara medal 3 million na aral ludo dramrigel so la imleu dimukra angeswa ang lagedam lor Australia el al time el ngania covid ra lor Australia e baim lo sabil el maya necessary training el maulen sabil makaliti al dial operator ngi en ul merbelaw mang ariar mgegrel about 20 some I believe el ngalagedam lor tial training e assignment tira ngartial USS Remlik 2 captained by Chief Emerson Nobuo ngigidi akuk ding mal ngilarong udal overall picture tora marine law enforcement enforcement ral udal girela Palau National Marine Sanctuary ma protected area networks rablur belaw yung lamurnya ba SLD level sa bitigal buy lomtera kabelment tergide malmol malmangkarim sa bakla e kada mga wall waigal develop lur belaw lol duli Salvador hindi kada lol kauklat kani abelaw di 1% land ding 99% ocean yes kada we're a small island country and we're also a very large ocean state masel Guktumura klakangela da belbelaw territory rablur belaw en maklol area mang any assistance ma partnership sebel el gut mukli lo bangela blura Miguel, blura Chaval, blura Australia, blura Taiwan. Iga igel mo ongoswira effort sergi del mral mangkar sebel el wasing mral tial entire territorial boundary ma jurisdiction of blur belau ang nga legitimate el effort sergi del gut mukli ong ilurior mangkar. Tingul mertiang sola molingitra Minister Roberts labas kita update ra tagi del toera COVID magi del nges vaccine program albangaringi auriule minister ng kumaria asabel information provide Minister Baklaira toera Christmas gagida sina Minister Sadang ra toera udo Minister Sala Blaira Tuarascu.
Minister. Señor Presidente, mucho trauma al vela Uruguay, tutai Salvador Goma Cambes. The very quick update, so this morning in the Domes 68 million positive cases. The one recovery rate, tigem na recover ang 40 million. Tigem na mada ang 1.5 million. Seguida agora di quick shasing. Kwama, they already passed 7,000 positive cases. Early, another 15 positive cases, one additional death. Total namada Kwama 114. They receive one user early, was in one together, possibly other below. Still gathering information and that was from COVID-19 somewhere in Texas. Anyway, close to tabletop activity at EOC prepare to get a vaccination process to get partners to give my information to receive CDC. FDA schedule mo approve sa Pfizer vaccine December 10. Ilang December 9 which is by Friday. Ito schedule approving. Once approval say, and then it's going to be rolling out. Moderna the other vaccine December 17. FDA will look into it. Di tokoy bladreng sa very optimistic and mau rollout. Sige lang klo tutte sa tingin togol ara blua kung apagi klemedak givetal vaccine this is nothing new sadoy several boringa gayud SARS MERS several years ago tamne started bru la vaccine gila coronavirus tial COVID-19 na coronavirus. Hindi gel SARS MERS amno kuam iway mutuk ko ambil tial rura vaccine and then tiagid elara sel guklomo la COVID-19 and they just took over must to continue. Wal ko able fast track ringi se do mesing wal ko amre actually the work has been going on for a while. Yel mangnon di adablu lang tial vaccine lolu ringi is being tested so far it looks good. Gida remain continue mala vaccine adam gidrenal跟meklo aurele la vaccine ya tablo dengan ngari makmosma di sel egel turbo dollar gukmo sel egel regular vaccine ngari lang wa flu vaccine gida mala ngi ma egel baby la polio ma egel tetanus ma mumps tablo ngua gigit vaccine sa lorun tungua tiagid virus rakta ngume embargo dailu tringin malmo bitut embargo tungu rusura enough amount of response ra ang subia was ternat mura nega tiakal ita enemy mendulia soldado mo o lakri seguida build up immune system bro ul mangaringi sel dongodon was a booster shot sel walong eru shot sel gota litial immune system go develop soldado hindi baby time makasay soldado hindi ba nga direct pates tra nga mo wasin sa emel tolerated tial vaccine. Embargo, kadam sang misal first dose of all kwa kagre affecting hindi sel longer dose apa isiling one boost up double mo to ay gigit soldado ngem en mutos misi ese gigit tama sa emo sa immune. Me like gigit el tool vaccine Moderna ma sel Pfizer works that way nganya first ma second dose ngi. Hindi kakaro siya Moderna, Pfizer, seguido AstraZeneca, Oxford, England, Brunei, OSPE, Raigal Live virus, diluter ngi, oval virus, seguido lang ang domensingi efficacy ngi awan 70%. Pfizer, Moderna, targibul kingod atetelel. Instead of a live virus, ito yung mRNA is one generic make-up para tel virus ngurusura at yung mora cells at maguruli a virus similar maguruli a protein similar mortial COVID virus yang patungay ma-recognize ngin mutiyang foreign body maguruli a soldado da nakring mung tamas kasel first dose mung trigger ngi nga 28 days after embargo talmo tamas ka second dose embargo egidam na mo what immune cell la boringa a COVID exposure apa nga amount of response da la krim da pomse mung pero si siungi mai gagi de flu virus and all the flu vaccine din targib mo da aurelel and it's very safe according to the testing. There's a big question. I know you asked it, Bernadette. The difference between effectiveness and efficacy. It's important to let the people know. Yes, efficacy just means when you're doing testing, a certain group of a small population, how that vaccine works in that small group determines the efficacy of the vaccine. The effectiveness is when you roll it out to the public, the whole public, and the end result is the effectiveness. So we're sure 100% and you get 90%. That's how effective it is. So basically, both are important. The overall, we want to see the effectiveness after the entire population has been vaccinated. The Pfizer is being hopefully be rolled out on December 10. The cold storage again. We're still trying to get the minus 70-degree freezers. There's a little bit of short supply. I'm working on getting some. Again, first the Pfizer vaccine, the blood allocator makuha masaywan. Hopefully, they need more help over there now. It helps us if we vaccinate them first too. Get a Moderna in first week of January, hopefully. Say a data roll other CDC. Still, when the vaccine comes, already I give them it early, and there's already been a plan by EOC, other Ministry of Health, but basically vaccinate the first tigel front lines, tigel 65 and over, tigel more than other underlying conditions. Eventually work our way down to everybody. The guidelines. Children under 12 what and ongoing studies. So far children under 12 are fairly resilient and worry about them pregnant mothers recommend getting the vaccine yet because there's still ongoing studies. One question that's been coming up, if you've been positive, do you still get the vaccine? And the recommendation now is yes, go ahead and get it. And the reason is vaccine I mean klungin araktamar at nganya kwa gegrel tretere apningina angum gegre mauta gegre response tumungin nganya adu mal mosmer mungwal klo antibody mungagaros atungu vaccine it will just boost your whatever immune system you have muswaw so it's recommended even though na mosmer mungin mga vaccine ngumutun mga ngosugaw. So it's definitely hindi akan makita ko lang Mira, gida lang awal ko tele la teluror. Anticipate di less than 20,000, 15,000 or so. Maigel mleko tel loul meskida la CDC, maybe sumun sabihin ito meskida, let's say like 30,000 doses. That's about 15,000 people. Two doses each, and that's manageable. So then nagi plan tigale vaccinators sa hospital. Lalo as I said, maybe do 500 a day. And within a couple months, we should finish the first batch, and then hopefully by April, May, because I'm not complete trouble here. Sige, hindi ko to close sige dili presidente na we remain COVID free. We're talking about. Of course we worry about the economy and everything, so we're talking about a bubble with travel bubble with Taiwan. Taiwan is consider Taiwan it's COVID safe, but it's not COVID free. They have cases going in still every day, but they have contained it border airport at Serablo safe. Hindi nga sige table risk, so we have to continue hopefully with the vaccine coming around the corner and instead of rushing to increase the risk. Close to trail, even if you vaccinate everybody in Palau, we cannot open right away just yet until we see how things are going around. If we vaccinate everybody 100% here, but Philippines is not vaccinated and they come in and they get sick, we still have to take care of them. So that's the other thing is, we may have to more a requirement a living document, either passport or something that says you got the shot. Hindi what yellow card mo ba, he has to be somewhere on travel. They say a vaccine. Other methods, we have to require that. Initially, they continue test to make sure until such time was safe. There's still quite a lot of work to do before we can say we are safe to open. Whether we have to open up, this is what we can be thankful for. We're COVID free, we still have freedom of movement. We have the local economy. So it's important to maintain that. And to our smell, basically we lose that. So I gotta give the effort to the rule, from the beginning until now. Continue to enforce safe time instead of rushing, and hopefully we can hopefully in the time and open up. Question. One more, President, issue a medical referral. Mani saludo Taiwan durante mosquito 4 charter flight of Titer Smer. I said number 3 charter flight Amera December 13 and Thursday night, Friday morning. Lontaga Smer, Malara Smer in Taiwan. Said one number 4. Molester say the charter flight January 13. And hopefully after that, and say the book will arrange maybe some sort of a normal schedule along Taiwan and Marsme as it will continue. Hindi kita nagtrato selling, even during COVID-19, the workers smell Taiwan, Remengesau Taiwan, and all the efforts that's been made. At the close to Salvador, there's cost involved, especially quarantine. Tigal adat sa labong sa ginabo ang all momring they albor hospital kita nga niya policy gid healthcare fund as will cover the quarantine cost. Di tigel mo outpatient taman mo ubul, especially during this hard time. Mga niya efforts sa lolo na olbin nga niya although the NCD funds ay got tax alcohol, tobacco, around 4 million in savings. Ngayon na President, Maduro Adolbi, hopefully, again, si Ilgo allocate ang regular do to a healthcare fund, mga hospital, and teme na COVID, maring time na the hospital support na quarantine cost, continue medical referral, self-akal o ilya, save time. Mong clue our leadership mamasaw din ngayon and hopefully it can be done close to trail.
Sula Salvador, sula Dr. Roberts, medi CCE sel longit el mara mergida other vela Salvador ra akang ergid ma understanding ergid ma support ergid ma participation ergid and mortial vaccine tel karela al tanglarya sa bekrengan makasay gid lo sa gid kale lora kini pics experiment ay kal mergid di mo le lakle oren sa tigira scientist martoktang tia program elang ablalu uli rablura Europe dik medung yang direct stat rablura Miguel etamla testeringi mla matiga result ngi lo sa ngoror magarbay nga tangata ada belaul sa bedel ngaya teledel mo o benefit tial radel tial kar topdang seguida agora untidel wasem bol klar mud abay kim nastata aldu ulgirel msa mande ki direct na mitra minister Roberts mada Dr. Yano president elect maradal aswad tial momentum tial lumbrusel tial vaccine al lomu ulil continual sois bara 2021 auldas wal sa kalsel lobang gamiyo asing resources sa hospital necessary ka role overtime including a weekend may direkal mo o partner gid Michael private clinics al selvelaw te direka ka mo kay ngesew mungususew emlar adal meragay gidal centers and mo ulan sa bedal vaccinate as many people as possible target tergida ang ara email dartel adra tal shields no less than that seguida gida amre dal lotaw taygal vaccine mong cellular mikme de kadal mutel mangal mo ror gida mar governors ma rek leaders rablur belaw encourage our other belaw wasim tirgagi dal ngara order agel blalo mas a minister wasa akote ka ngara frontline o ngeru ka ngara mo odele embrael way seguida lo mo overngil me pol sebedel mare adlo tirak lagel liotergid mal sebetial program el wrap up alage el dong okla al hospital ma private clinic se longira adal mong en dikerdimek meudia ya autotel tial toy again we'll work with you in the media relate the program al mong en okay ngari akademi
good morning minister some of the concern or misconception about the vaccine is why is Palau getting early access to the vaccine together with the US. So can you explain the arrangement Palau has with the US, because some are thinking that Palau is going to be guinea pigs. And to Mr. President, there's also skepticism about the safety of the vaccine. So my question is, to counter that, would you take the vaccine?
Actually, it's a blessing that we get it first. We're affiliated with the U.S. and they're our friends and they're willing to help us. So when they roll out things, it's not only for our protection, it's also for their protection because they have interest in us. So for them to protect us, and we're a very small population, to them, I think it's a good investment and it's also good for us. The thing is, we have to look at science. And, from all these studies coming out, like I said, this thing just didn't happen in March. This has been an ongoing, they've been working on the a vaccine during SARS, during MERS, and then everything kind of stopped because it was quiet. So when they took over, when COVID came in, they just basically picked up from there and fast-tracked it. But as far as we see, it's fairly safe. And then, the Pfizer was open in England already, and it seems to be okay. There's always fear about anything new, but if you look at the risk of not getting it and the benefits, I recommend that we get it. Yeah, and we've been taking vaccines ever since we've been kids. So this is nothing new. It should be part of our duty to protect ourselves and the population at hand. I guess the big question is, is it going to be mandatory or is it voluntary or what? So far, the vaccination program in Palau is voluntary. Because there are some religious people, religious groups, example, blood donors. There's some religious group that just refuse to do that. And I know there's going to be some people who refuse to do this. And I think the important thing is for public safety, we need to have a waiver or a paper that whoever decides not to do it should sign it so we know who they are. Just to protect everybody. And my recommendation is, let's all go out and do it. And I think the president is going to be one of the first ones to get it.
Yeah, so the question is, will I do it? Yes, I will. When do I do it? I was going to follow what the recommendations of the health people would say, when, according to the frontliners first, and then the senior citizens, and then those with preconditions, and so but if you want, if it helps that I'll be one of the first to get it, I'll gladly do it. But again, I'm asking the people of Palau. This is not the first vaccine that we take. We've had vaccines before, and this is something that's going to save lives. So let's do our part as responsible citizens.
Dr. President, Minister Robert, cell minus 70 degrees freezer. Seng ngeso banggala igal vaccine almain kadam laring separately kadam arangin.
Hindi procure a clocklet. So we're looking at it. Hindi lang Pfizer, the cell company, already designed a transportation box nga niya, a cooling box blood design needs of NIL vaccine until 10 days. It remains at that temperature. And they said the main get the transfer our own freezer. Mung agi remote tingin ya Taiwan ako mamrigel na contact ngel partner gidra sa CDC ra kom, they're also helping. And all of a sudden it tiang amoringi and igata ko to klaro blood di na ka malus pa iga. Ngani ang arbelaw up to 60 minus igero fast freeze ang igil even was shalom ngani I get here. We don't have a minus 70, so we're trying to procure one at least. The recommendation, and since we have two choices, initially other CDC was a facility halim ilia moderna recommend palangay. The lot to recommend Pfizer is coming out first, and they'll put direct facility will get some. So we're working on that.
President, Minister Health lamlo tat sel tokorar referral el mora nang school ma referral laning selva bilingem el mora ambassador Chow el diregal waram le express ra first pressure belaul wasiak tamla lingit tra Taiwan el mla redu sa diregal tial quarantine protocol le diregal reciprocate ta Taiwan, especially mara school ma smear siang area hensi ra Taiwan amlami.
Giving official response sa government of Taiwan. Obvious ambassador tiyang mal understanding mdangalia logic until wala ma reality. Apparently in government of Taiwan ma kuksel Taiwan CDC sel tirgegida giril mo o gonger tial lolgoringi belaw ma government of Taiwan. I'm hoping it was in civil merit at the time at address ringi. Lengkwa de al make sense sa laka COVID ra blur bela e gida do Taiwan e the quarantine dongoy tawdo del malateste the quarantine. Again, Ambassador Taiwan based bela mal understanding ding tiang nga decision lang albang ringia Taiwan Health Department ma government and I hope in the very near future. For your information, President-elect gidam la bring up the same thing al mora government of Taiwan and involve funds in Malta gair lang augurur el al adal duro cortil mong ediregal mo pera 2,500 arala a quarantine ma test sila para Taiwan aguk era kada mangira henjira government at Taiwan hindi bela giredal mutmukkur gidal moringa funds sa bedro duro cortigal asko gimalbong sabil. And that's what we're working with Olvir el al address ay gidrudo the plan mention minister no sin mudo dra tiangrang klil NCD about 4 million dira implementation our state governors and sabedal mo tal million telang help ra healthcare fund in address at ay gidal problem ra quarantine ra al silabora Taiwan.
Sila Mr. Presidente, Minister Ahildaw Luaysuk na sing kuradia ka alal mandate radal girin momlatel vaccine. Kami laway seri marada lamo jal mutakten malangi. Ndi andera emergency health blend declare ni ngani aklise merulli alla andera emergency health marada mo requel girin momlangi. O mo mga employer jagal ngera radrit el mauder letti diral ngilutel vaccine mo angara mo misatial.
Yeah, of course the safest thing ang marang gid recommend other umbel din marang legal other was enforce other mo malani hindi gidi mo tuser was in the enforce in mura adam to me elang na well policy hospital dia sa mga school na sumo dia kong vaccinated nga school. That's one of the requirements. As edu krude so ali dia kamu tiang dia ko travel dia ko morir so a school so la kumbali really the trial enforcing din close to train got mo marada mo so you feel safe.
Sula Minister. Kadiga question namin ungarian mutunwan.
Minister Roberts, you said that it's a voluntary vaccination. Will if the 83% of the population is vaccinated, would it achieve herd immunity? And which brings me to the question: so, is it safe to reopen borders when like 80% are vaccinated?
Yes, I think that's the general recommendation is herd immunity. If you vaccinate 80% of the population, you can feel fairly confident that you're okay. So I think that's our target. But since we're so small community, why just go 80? Let's do 100 if we can. Yeah, but definitely if we get 80, it's better than what we have now. So.
Quickly, follow-up. Michelle, 20% is that the 12 years old and below?
Yeah, there's going to be that population, so it's going to be somewhere. But we'll try to hit 100% tigil gini yeah.
Egal vaccination record rablu bela direkal mal gire dan mungila rangudrangi campus ling even my UN ma WHO mla amat rablu bela regal na mo bekrakal. We're actually in the high risk,
very high,
vehicle vaccination. And why tell a matter of life and death, I would hope it was a vehicle. A direct malmo samariare, a mega effort to moving. The Tirgel Lual Ngara last line, El Momelartiang Tirgel Msisi Abadngir, which would be the children. Olgum kada 80% other vela vaccinated, they sell 20% most likely diktir. Tom sindri kira idal ngal baim sisi abdgir. Egidal oliura rakta amlamo dia kata amlambo vaccinated. That would be an ideal situation albang.
And then the other thing in this small population, and it's a practice here because the vaccine sometimes is 1, 2, and 3 doses, and sometimes they skip. And when you're reviewing the records, and if it's incomplete, the vaccinators go out and chase the people in the community and do it. And it's all it takes. Yeah.
Solamente tendi motada al vaccine malube kadamo marni.
Well, there's nothing free in this world, indeed. Hopefully, it doesn't cost us too much. Hindi, gunda sa el men nga naman and they're part of Tiagil close allergy, so they're giving it to us. Hindi nga niya gigil administration cost, may gal ko so there's a little bit of cost involved. Di hopefully, and di waigal baby a vaccine in dola, hindi ka do na pocket out po.
Agi alalu ngi Salvador important dapat maklitya lurior mga udo da yakal niya mo ulit ora aradable and if necessary agi administrative cost al take care government man dia ka cost gila alal mo ulen dia kal me lola vaccine.
Sula Mr. President.
Okay. Me donitra Minister Baklay Chilton mal orang miskita eltela Christmas talbang ri el ngari nga kalbiw ukmara.
Maraming tatay President ma media. Akti mo ay sa sesel kuk pangot makringil gila holiday sa children's Christmas program. Umuula next week na Monday. Ma President Obangela ngalgara ayot siya ma Ministry of Health ma malgayok Head Start mo light up sa Christmas tree ra Capitol ra Monday nga December 14 ya Tuesday nguk ngaringi erungul park ay umul sel 6:30 direct ngaringi office ra Olvira Kalula wa bot Senate and House akuk mo open sel ngaringi Tuesday ra erungul park direct ngaringi Ministry of State Maigal Embassy ra Shaval ma Australia sa gilal Tuesday ya Wednesday mutul mura Capitol nga Ministry of Finance ma Ministry of Justice Lovengel ang Elementary School mga along Elementary School ra Wednesday ya Thursday ang mutul nga erungul para Core Elementary School ma George P. Harris Elementary School Lovengel Ministry of Education ma Embassy ra Taiwan ya conclude ngira Friday ngira direct nga Capitol Lobangela MPIC ma MCCA Lobangela Aymalik Elementary School ma Malgayoc Elementary School sesel annual Christmas program gidel mo ngal garbelaw man mal invite arbekla dalwa sesel Monday nga light up a Christmas tree a President ma First Lady ma rangal gara elementary rangal gayot siyang ra Emaus mga tabekla dal mo sa edel guk joiner sa gidel opening ceremony ra light up a Christmas tree gida other belaw mga tabekla man sa edel carpool mo soro oral ma Capitol sel Monday Wednesday Friday ya Tuesday Thursday duk nga erungul park nagay gida President malungil Christmas sa mabekla
Sulang Minister Chilton Salvador aklugu sel meeting ra Baramayong National and State Leadership semo live stream dra PNCC akwasal al ngari nga karmiul ko girela gel betokol maklol ngar alela finance matora do de aklu mal girel mo interesting adilungile de skip prime minister sa ngala ng gukun mutal another 30 minutes lo sa WIOA but I think tomorrow in malbetok ang will information mo to starus ma raikal betok mo kloluror including our CIP I think it's going to be a good 2-hour leadership meeting rakluguk ay gagidab do minister health ng atiam direkal swal share rakluguk kundi I'm sure yung direkal betok akarmiul sa elguk mo to rakluguk kirel tiam sinton nga okay. Pero di congratulate other school kamil other media le eli ang lania I'm sorry sira Monday Melalui groundbreaking ra PSL designer parking lot mamu Rail Mira Didrang Matral ra Koror Elementary School. Tiang oya ka public-private partnership, especially Surang and Sons Company, kung nga private sector, pick up cloud part ra coaster tial. Kalamal ko ra look forward del girela completion ng project teling, as you know, atara ko to cloud contributor mura traffic jam sila tutaw at yalo o tirma o kordalira ngal ka school sila bara with that project ang SBL group mo is up plus a safety ra ngal involved, so it was a good thing to invest money ra sila program. Okay, adi kay gido kung ibo kung tergi de edrutel wish a happy holidays el al silse Salvador kung ala media en Tugubet Silsra Flavin Miss ra Division of Immigration, Leonora Ramel ra Public Health, Clarice Mulus ra Ira Elementary School, Olmatalel Ngoriak ra Division of Ancillary Services ra Tiang Hospital. Okay, tigaya Tugubet Silsra Tirmang to wish them happy birthday. So la mergida other below, let's continue to take care and prepare ourselves for the upcoming holidays. Remengesau.